Welcome to the hottest movie review on the internet today, the A-List Review. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Troop. And today I'm here to review a movie that came out, a couple weeks ago in theaters, and I finally got around to seeing it. I'm gonna grab my cosmopolitan drink and have a good time with this one, because ladies and gentlemen, my review of the 2017 comedy Girls Trip coming up now. Successful author Ryan Pierce is set to be the keynote speaker at the annual Essence Music Festival in New Orleans. She decides to take the opportunity to reunite with her 3 lifelong friends who have drifted apart from each other and invites them as her guests. The 4 ride-or-die friends reconnect by getting into a number of wild situations when they hit the town. They soon realize, though, that life isn't all fun and games, as they all have some drama they're going through in their personal lives. So what did I think of Girls Trip? I thought it's an amusing comedy. It's very hard not to compare this movie to Rough Night, the similar film about old friends reconnecting on a trip, which was released about a month before this. While I didn't find anything enjoyable about Rough Night at all, I was pleasantly surprised with Girls Trip. There are some very funny back and forth between the friends who call themselves the Flossy Posse, most of which made me laugh out loud. The comedy is also some of the raunchiest I've seen this year, which in some movies can feel forced, but here I thought it worked just fine for the material. Just don't show it at your grandmother's house. The friends do some of the usual antics we're used to seeing, such as drink a little too much, which results in some crazy effects, and hook up with guys. There are a lot of humorous gags throughout, like the 4 getting kicked out of their fancy hotel and having to stay in a dump instead, deal with an old pervert who's looking for a prostitute, get involved in a brawl, try to reawaken their friend's sexuality, and of course swing across balconies and get stuck. There are also quite a number of dramatic and more serious moments which have heart. I found myself caring about these characters, and their friendships are certainly believable. Each of the girls is going through some kind of crisis, and as their friends find out certain things they weren't aware of have happened since the last time they talked, some tensions rise between them. Of course, we get some of the cliche fights and makeups between the friends, but for every plot point that might seem familiar, there was something a little surprising to balance it out and give it a fresh feeling. I also enjoyed the strong message about lifelong friendships. Clocking in at 2 hours, I do think it was a tad long, but I was never checking my watch or feeling bored. The cast stars Regina Hall as Ryan Pierce, the self-help author on the verge of a big endorsement deal but is having trouble with her marriage, Jada Pinkett Smith as Lisa, the single mom who hasn't found love or even a good time since her divorce, Queen Latifah as Sasha, the former journalist who's trying to pay the rent as a gossip blogger, Tiffany Haddish, who's very funny here, as Dina, the recently unemployed blunt friend with some anger issues who lost her job after assaulting a coworker, and Mike Coulter as Stuart, Ryan's retired football star husband, who seems to have a wandering eye. Girls Trip is an entertaining, clever, and sometimes emotional film that's a trip worth taking. I'm gonna give it the rating of do it. Alright, well that's the show. I'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. youtube.com/westside515. You can like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTrueBaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WesAList. Until next time, Troop out.